to be my guest. Today joining me again is Mr. Kanaya Lala, a longtime resident of Acton. Welcome back. Today we're talking on another topic, and this time it's about common health problems and especially allergies.
Good subject.
Yeah. So shall I ask how to avoid common health problems?
Avoid the common health problems and allergies. So one thing we have learned, what we call our, in Sanskrit word, nirog. We are basically born without any rog. Rog means disease. Our body's nature process is that they are completely disease-free. But as soon as we come into this world and we breathe the polluted air, contaminated air, drink contaminated water, and we start to get these toxins in our body, and nature has provided us built-in doctor, which is our immune system, which takes care of all these contaminants. Now, as the baby grows, along with that, the immune system grows, and a baby has to be given extra care because the immune system is not fully developed yet.
Yes.
And it has to be nourished. And how we nourish our immune system. So it's strong enough that you're not affected by these contaminants. Now, we have very common thing, especially in my business. I go out in woods, flagging wetlands and all that. And everybody who's in this business, they're very afraid of this poison ivy. Everybody must have.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't hurt me.
Oh.
I have no problem with poison ivy. I touch it and I'm not at all worried about it. So it's because my immune system can take care of it. And it doesn't react to it. Now, the way I have lived my past life, that I have avoided all type of drugs.
When you talk about past life, you mean this life in the past years?
This past few years. I'm not talking about being reincarnated or something. So my past in this life of my age, I'm close to 68 in next month.
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you very much. All these years, I have tried to live without medicines. It's not that I never got health problems, a small little bit here and there, but I knew how to avoid them and how to have patience for immune system to work on it and automatically resolve that problem and bring you back to full health.
No quick fixes.
There's no quick fix. Today's medicines, they mask the problem.
Right.
They do not take it out from the roots.
That's what the Eastern philosophy says, right? You work from the root up.
Root up. So you have to remove your problem from its roots, and your immune system works on the roots. And that's why it takes a little time. And the way the immune system is, it's a complex system, and it is, you will be surprised that it is made of all the sugars we eat. There are 200 plant sugars, and out of that, 8 are very important. And those 8 are main formation of your immune system. And they mostly come from fruits. And if you're eating fruits, that means you are feeding your immune system. Then the next thing is, it also needs oxygen.
Oh yes, oxygen is very important.
We are always inhaling oxygen, but the way the 3 components of immune system are, the 3 different cells, I'll just call it randomly T1, T2, T3, the 3 types of cells. T1 cells, they have to be always awake, because as soon as you put anything in your system, it flags it.
Right.
Is it good or bad? Red and green, 2 flags. And if it doesn't flag, then the red flag items will go through without being detected. And second one, T2, are the ones, they're going to kill those red flags. Then comes the T3, which memorizes how the battle was fought.
Right.
And how these bad cells were killed. It maintains that memory for T2 cells to perform every time the same type of cells come. Every time they get something new, they have to find a way to beat it.
Right.
And that's why T3 is important, to keep a record of it, that eventually it will find. So you have inner system which is creating in a vaccination. You don't have to take a vaccine.
Oh, yes.
Because there are many vaccines are made from healthy immune systems. And that's how the vaccine is formed. So
and add bacteria to it sometimes.
Exactly. So the thing is, to keep my immune system in a good shape, you have always to give it something to fight. Just like army has to go for training.
Yes.
Otherwise, if there's no war, they will be rusty. So the soldiers have to always keep awake.
Ready.
So there are two ways. One is what we do in our yoga asanas, the breathing pranayam, we call it. And in that breathing, there's one particular one in where we breathe very fast and we pay more attention to exhalation than inhalation, and what we call Kapalbhati in Sanskrit. And the bursts of those oxygen, when they go to your lungs, they improve your immune system.
Are you able to show that?
Yes. In any posture, you can sit on a chair, or you can sit on the floor, and any posture comfortable to you. And then you go and take your 2-3 normal breaths. So what I'm doing, I'm paying more attention to exhaling. And inhaling is automatic. And that way, those bursts of oxygen, they awaken your T1 cells of your immune system. And when I'm even breathing, along with our breath, millions of microbes are going in, which are in the air, you can't even see them. But when you're talking, you're breathing, they are always going in, and they have to be killed if they are contaminated. So the other way to improve your immune system is, I talked about the sleep. Immune system also may not perform if you are deprived of sleep. You must get right amount of sleep.
Even your brain doesn't perform well.
Exactly. So at least 4 hours of sound sleep. You may be in bed for 7-8 hours, but sound sleep is not all those hours. So that can help you improve your immune system. And the third thing is the sun gazing, which I talked about last time, which also helps you improve your immune system. So once your immune system is taken care of, then a small cold or small allergic effect you get, a lot of people have allergies from dust is the main thing, and then you may have allergy from foods. Those allergies, best thing is to avoid those foods, but if you don't want to do that and by error you eat those, your immune system should be able to take care of it. So in that
sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I before you get on to allergies, I like the word nirog.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I'd like for you to explain to the audience how the word, what does it mean and from what origin is it?
Well, it's a Sanskrit word, and nirog is basically describes the way the baby is born and has no any health issues, but eventually you develop these diseases, which is what the rog is. Rog, Sanskrit word means disease, and your body becomes rogi, so it's full of disease. And nirog is where you want to go back to your natural form of without the disease. So that's what the nirog is. And of course, your immune system helps you doing that. And allergy is one of those common diseases, which we can call that you are not able to digest certain foods, and your system overreacts to dust particles. You get sneezing, and histamine is made by our system to drain out those fine microparticles through your nasal system.
Right.
And then we're trying to avoid it by taking anti-allergic medicine. That only puts a mask on it.
Yes.
So I learned this way that let it rinse. Have a box full of tissue papers, or I actually use a good quality toilet paper roll, which is very absorbent and it's very convenient to carry, and you just keep on the rinse going on and cleaning it. And that way your immune system would clean out all those bad particles.
What about the neti pot? Do you ever advocate for
Yeah,
that?
that's another way to do it, and that is a maintenance system. If you do neti pot every week.
For those that don't know, that's basically cleaning your nasal passages.
Correct. So nasal passages should not get filled up with any such debris, and but whenever you get this histamine effect through your very active immune system, it automatically cleans it. So I have never done neti system, but I was told sometimes to take care of your histamine, but I managed to do it through my improving immune system, which I was getting to, that you have the exercise of touching toes, what I call. And you can touch toes in 3-4 different ways, by bending forward, bending backwards, bending sideways, cross bending, all the ways you can think of taking your hands and touching your toes. That exercise somehow creates a special breathing system, and that enhances your immune system. Not only these bending exercises are good for your joints and muscles, stretching them and bring the flexibility in your muscles, but it also improves somehow the immune system to fight all the bad things we put in our system.
Yeah, they say you are as young as your body is flexible, right?
Exactly.
That's how flexible your body is. That's how young you are.
Right. Yeah.
So, and the other thing that we do do it almost every day, is where you cross your hands and touch your ears and go up and down. That
one is
good for your brain.
Well publicized exercise of doing
scientifically proven
sit-ups. We used to get this as a school punishment
yes.
when you don't do your homework.
Yes.
The teacher said, do 10 sit-ups.
Face the board and go up and down, holding your hands and going up and down.
And then eventually we have found out through experiences that this is very good way to sharpen your brain. And your brain becomes very active with that, and more brain power you can use.
And I guess that is because you're touching your earlobes. Because you're touching
you have to pinch your earlobes by crossing your hands.
And then you go up and down.
The main thing which people have to know doing this sit-up is when you're going down, you have to breathe in.
Right.
Sometimes we do breathing out when we are bending and we are taking the stomach in, then we have to breathe out. But in this case, even it puts pressure on your stomach muscles and the volume of your stomach. The air is there in your stomach. You had to fill it up so that some way of compressing it. When you go down, now you breathing in, that means you're filling your stomach, but your muscles are going to compress that air. And that whole mechanism somehow affects your brain cells.
Yeah, it's been scientifically proven now.
Right. And those children who have that problem with, I'm forgetting the word.
Autistic, maybe?
Autistic. So autism can be solved by doing this particular sit-up exercise. 3-4 times in a day you can do it. You don't have to do it just once a day, because you have to develop a stamina. I think I can do about 18. Beyond that, I don't have capacity. So once a while I do go to full 18, but not necessarily. Sometimes in the morning you are rushing and you still have to finish your yoga asanas for 10 to 15 minutes. So you do only 5 or 7, and that's good enough to sharpen your brain. And whatever you are trying to do, it will help you.
Right.
doing.
So we touched the ice or the allergies, and that's what I said this topic this time is
Right.
going to be on allergies.
Right.
But we need to give a little bit more. I know we spoke about the pranayama. We spoke a little bit about the food, the allergies.
Yeah.
But I think we can talk a little bit more about, in our last segment you spoke about the bindi, okra.
Yeah, I was talking about from Mexico also, and Brazilians have seen their buffets. I go to restaurants, they do serve okras, and in Texas I went, and there I get to eat okras because of Mexican influence, and in India we eat okras very frequently. At least a couple of days in a week. The whole thing of eating okras is it has got two components. One is the selenium. Selenium is not found in
Many
vegetables.
things, yes.
This is the one very rich in selenium. And the other thing is it has got a tough fiber, so it keeps your system good. So you get good fiber and selenium. Now selenium is used in your body for a good growth of nails, skin, and eyes. So if you don't have enough selenium in your body, you could get skin problems, you get problems with your nails and your eyesight. So it's good to eat a good amount of selenium.
I thought it's, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's for the thyroid and brain also, some brain, for people with
I have not come across those items yet, but the limited knowledge I have gained
I
about
have not,
things.
I should have done more research on the vegetables before coming
so
here.
I have spoken to a few doctor friends, and they have told me that what the selenium affects in our body.
Definitely.
And
you are right.
they do prescribe selenium as a vitamin for deficiency in selenium. Some people have deficiency in selenium.
All you need is 2 brittle nuts. If you don't have okra and all of that, 2 brittle nuts and you got your selenium for the day. They have the selenium
too. That's something I learned
that I know,
from
selenium for 2 for the day.
Because
especially with women that's going through menopause and all that, they need selenium too. And I think it's more for the thyroid function.
Yeah. So we do eat walnuts for
omega-3.
Yeah. So same way, a lot of my friends at my temple who are also vegetarian like me, and they keep saying, the doctor says, oh, you are short of omega and you had to eat fish. And what to do? We don't eat fish. So I say, okay, it's very simple. Eat 2 pieces of walnuts every day and you have enough.
Yeah, you actually need a little more than 2 pieces, but soaking the walnuts is actually better than having it just raw.
Yeah, so same thing about
and
the almonds.
Seaweed also.
Take,
Seaweed.
Seaweed.
It's just that's a weed that's in the sea.
Right.
So that's vegetarian.
Vegetarian too. Yeah.
So that's another very good source for iodine as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
See, with this talk we learn and.
This is it, right? We all learn from one another, and we and I am very passionate about good health and preventing things too. So. And you know, I told you earlier on that word nirog is really sticking with me, and I need to do some research more on that to see how I'm going to be using it.
Yes, we have to be all nirogis.
That's a nice term to think about it.
Right.
Yes, and you're talking about different vegetables and allergies, and with spring coming up and everything else, people are really going to go out with this.
Sure, even in this time, because of very good transportation system, you practically get everything all seasons. And
but it's not always beneficial though when you bring it too far, because all your vitamins are lost.
Right, because we do have summer in the southern hemisphere, so you get the summer season vegetables and fruits back here, even though we are in winter. The air transport has made it simple, but the best thing is to eat locally grown, and the fruit and vegetables which are in the season, they are always in abundance, and then they are cheap.
No, and they're best for your health.
Exactly.
Your body is now going to be accustomed for that cold. That vegetable is made to help you
that
for the
season.
cold or for the
Yes.
spring when it's
Yes.
getting warmer.
Nature produces everything as per the season, and they are
Yes.
good for you to
Yes.
eat in that season. That's why they are produced like that, like watermelon for summer.
Summer, because
to
it's got a
cool
lot of
you
water,
down.
cools you down and,
Cools you
and
down and
hydrates
give you a lot of fluids.
Lots of
So,
hydration.
so that's what I tell my friends, that look, go in the grocery store and see which is the cheapest fruit, buy that. Because it is in abundance. Not that's bad, but it is in abundance. That's why the price goes down. They want to clear out their stock.
Their stock. Right. And then whatever is local is got, the nutrition is more, is better.
Nutrition is more because it has not been preserved for long.
It's not been traveling too far.
True.
Especially vitamin C is lost in the air very easily.
Yes.
So
those apples, you get so much apples. We here live in middle of apple orchard. Acton is full of apple orchards. We go apple picking in October.
Those are the best.
Yeah, and so is the strawberries, and so those are the good things about eating fresh.
Yes, and
food.
Cranberries, we are lucky, unique. We have cranberries right here in.
My wife adds cranberries to rice. When she cooks rice, she throws in
a couple of
10 pieces of cranberries.
Oh, how festive!
Yeah.
So you have Christmas all the time with these cranberries.
Sliced almonds and cranberries, they go so well with rice.
They do. Yes, and if you fry, you can fry. My grandmother always put a little bit of ghee in her rice.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yes,
every time we never cook rice without any oil in it, but either a spoonful of teaspoon of butter or a teaspoon of ghee, which is clarified butter. It's very good. It doesn't stick to your utensils, and, it comes out very nice and fluffy.
Ghee is actually better than the butter because all the little the stuff is removed.
Ghee is removed. Yeah.
So you get the solid stuff, which is, I believe, one of the very few things that have vitamin K2.
Right.
So which we don't get in elsewhere. So it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, ghee is considered one of the best cooking system, and scientifically, we measure just like materials and fluids with their density. They have this specific heat. It's just like a specific density.
Yes.
So a specific heat, it compares all the fluids and oils for their capacity to absorb heat energy. So when you are cooking, the heat is being transferred from your cooktop into your utensil and to their food. So to evenly cook it, there has to be a medium, which is oil, which absorbs the heat first and then gives it to ingredients. So you need very little amount of ghee because its specific heat value is the highest among all the cooking oils. All other cooking oils are thinner, and they have less, and then eventually to cook well, you have to add more oil. So canola oil or corn oil or peanut oil, or so many oils depending on omega-6.
You don't want too much of omega-6.
You don't want omega-6 too much.
Sunflower oil with too much of omega-6.
So this
corn
doesn't
oil,
have that.
Soy oil, you've got to have your GMOs. So you have all these things to be concerned about. So look out for that.
The good thing about the ghee is that it doesn't have that.
Yes.
And see where the ghee comes from. It is basically comes from milk, which is the baby food. So,
but it's for the baby cows. But
right. But with this animal baby, or as a baby, we take milk, a cow's milk, a buffalo's milk, and we'll talk about milk next time. But because I have given up milk. So the milk is full food. Yes. It's a complete meal, and it has got everything, the fat, the protein. So the fat portion, which is 4-5% in the whole milk, which is extracted and to form butter and the ghee. So it is meant for consumption. While the vegetable oils, they come from the seeds.
Yes.
The vegetable seeds.
Well, again, depending on which one.
And then you are extracting the oil from the seeds, which is basically
processing
meant for
again.
Making the immune system of the tree, the plant. That's
but
why.
Also, you are we spoke about being less processed. So if we can have the actual seeds, if you have olives instead of olive oil, if you have all those different seeds, you are much better shape.
Much better.
And then doing all of this, so it's all very, very interesting. And again, we talk about bio-individuality.
Yes.
It's how each one can take all of this. So allergies again is dependent on each one's makeup too, I guess.
Right.
And where they come from, I guess. I don't know. I haven't done much research on allergies.
Basically, allergies is your improper immune system. That's why you are allergic to things, because your immune system, that T1 flag, is not putting red flag on those things. And then you start to get into problems.
So you should do a diet, a process of elimination to see what doesn't work for you.
Right.
And then slowly introduce them.
Slowly introduce, if you like to, because I've seen a lot of children complaining about peanuts. Now, peanuts is a good thing to eat.
Yes, but if you're allergic to it, no, don't.
Right. Many people have allergies to milk.
Yes.
And they
eggs,
cannot.
I mean, we are vegetarian, but there's a lot of people with a lot of eggs.
Right, but
a lot of allergies out there.
Exactly. So whatever material, food, drink you are allergic to, you had to find out by taking a teaspoonful of it and slowly let your immune system understand what you're eating.
Yes.
And digest.
Allergies like peanuts and that kind, be very careful. Have your EpiPen very close by. You don't want to have, because you could get death, leads to death.
It's good to avoid it.
Yes.
As I said, what not to eat.
Yes.
So everybody has to see the system.
Yes, like I said, bio-individuality.
Exactly. Right? So if you have to avoid it, you have to avoid it.
Thank you so much again for another very insightful topic on this program. Thank you so much for joining me on Be My Guest. For more information, you can go to ActonTV.org. From Be My Guest, till we meet again. Bye-bye.